you like the videos? Please, man, can you like the videos? You know we are trying, shouting here, making noise. You are not liking. Like the video. I'm forcing you now. Like the video.
Minister, that when Mr. Zuma, who's the president of the MK, appoints deputy presidents in his party, do you think he consults his members and says, no, maybe take this one, leave this one? On a point of order.
Well, no. There you go. I told you. She takes something and then she's like, boom. Reactor, mama. Boom. Reactor to it.
Let's talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Let's talk about this topic about deputy presidents, okay? I want to say some things here, and I want to talk about it because, yes, people are talking about it, but I don't think that we are being honest at each other, because some of you are always supporting what some other people say about the topic. In other words, you don't have your own independent thinking over a topic or a certain topic. You always wait for someone to talk about it, and then from that you base your opinion from that. All right, let's get to listen to this. Now, the Honorable Sambo, I'm very sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her surname, for the fact that I don't know the spelling of her surname, so I will just say the Member of Parliament from the ANC side. He is going to ask the Deputy Minister, actually I don't know whether it's a second, it's a third Deputy Minister, but she's a Deputy Minister, about Deputy Ministers. You remember when there was another Deputy Minister that came previously, there were a lot of honorable members asking whether, you are important, what do you do when you wake up, blah, 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 as if when they are appointed as deputy ministers, they will just sit there and say, I don't want the position because we are not doing anything. Anyway, let's get to the video. Hope you enjoy. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. That will be very appreciated. Take it on, Miss MP. Let's go.
Let me greet you again, Deputy Minister. Deputy Minister, this committee has spent a lot of time on this issue of deputy ministers. I'm not sure its relevance to our terms of reference, but I want to come back to it. DM, I'm going to speak about things that are in my knowledge, that I know them for a fact, and then just ask you some questions afterwards. So in the portfolio committees that we oversee, for example, part of the presidency, I know that DM Hlauli, she is delegated Operation Vulindlela, the Presidential Youth Employment Initiative and Stats SA. Deputy Minister Morolong is delegated the GCIS, Brand South Africa and MDDA. In international relations, Deputy Minister Moraga, she is allocated Africa and the Middle East. And Deputy Minister Bottas is allocated South America and Australasia. Now, in your opinion, DM, do you think that these functions that are delegated to these deputy ministers are important?
Thank you very much, Honorable Songoni. Yes, it is very important, like I said before, when I explain what our rules are. And I want to also say to you, the characters might not be the same. I'm just saying this for the record. So it does not mean that if DM Matali were not able to articulate some of the things, he's not doing anything. And that we're not working as a team with the minister. The three of us, actually they were calling us the triplets because most of the two were doing together. So we must not have an impression that DM Matali, because he did not answer the question what he do every day when he wake up, and the minister were not working together, or DM Matali is not. And then with the cartoons that are going there, and that is a ghost worker and not earning his salary. Thank you very much. As I said, Honorable Member, it's in terms of the Constitution. And as I said also, other deputy ministers, they have, it's not this ones, they have the delegations. I think you reached a place where you sit down and discuss this issue and be comfortable with each other, and then the strength. Like I'm giving my own example that the minister saw the my doctorate on technology, and then just gave me the technology for me to go and address the international platform on technology, because I knew what I was all about. So they have the delegation, and it is important for them to do that. As I explained to you, SAPS is not SAPS only.
Wait, I'm coming to that,
Okay,
DM.
all right.
So while you have this problem of not being delegated, and maybe some other deputy ministers, it's not across the board that not everybody has delegations, okay?
Oh.
And I know that's correct, because also in our portfolio committee, DM Gungubele is delegated artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, digital skills, commitments on the African continent, the post office, the post bank, NEMISA, the film publication board, and .ZEDNA. Now his minister, Minister Maladzi, looks after the department, the SABC, Centec, Broadband Infraco, ICASA, CETA, USASA, Telcom, and then the rest of the sector. Now, do you think that Minister Maladzi could do all of this alone, still do cabinet committees, still do international engagements if he didn't have a deputy minister?
Never. Let's be honest, honorable member. You will never have. Actually, I'm scared when you spoke about all those responsibilities, because we're going into the digital stage where South Africa must be able to catch up. We are behind. So if the two of them have to do it, honestly, I don't think they will be able to do justice to it. I thought maybe they must have another DM, but it's not up to me. It's the minister's one. So, yeah, that will be my response.
So DM are not useless.
They are very, very useful.
Okay.
It's just that people would want to portray DMs as being useless, because they ask one DM what you do when you wake up, and could not give an answer. Then they said, then you see, and the chair did not even protect us when they even call us small fishes. That's why I am upfront even saying, I'm not a small fish, I'm a tadpole. But my qualifications really talk for me and what I do.
Let's talk about this thing of calling people useless. In South Africa, obviously, freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want to say, because some people, of course, they believe, and I think, according to the constitution, with the freedom of speech, and everything, some people, they call the president useless, some people, they call some ministers useless, and all of that, and all of that. And speaking of some people calling useless and whatever, there was a guy who spoke, which I reacted to the video. He was talking about some people are taking him that are foreigners. He was making it very clear that in South Africa we've got a constitution that gives us actually that that thing of being able to express yourself without any person trying to do whatever to you. All right, now let's talk about this thing useless. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to submit to you, it doesn't matter how you see a person, it doesn't matter how you dislike a person, it doesn't matter whatever, all right? But you don't call people useless just because you don't agree with something, okay? Let's talk about the deputy ministers. Deputy ministers, obviously, according to what I know, some of them, maybe, I don't know whether all of them, but some of them, a majority of them, they are learned ministers. Sometimes you will find, actually, that you will have a minister who is not that learned, okay? He doesn't have degrees, he doesn't have doctorates and everything, but you find that the deputy minister is actually learned. That means he's got doctorate and everything like that. In my world, I don't think I will ever call any deputy minister useless, okay? And I will tell you why. Just stick with me. Let's listen and let's listen on. And I will also tell you what is my problem with the deputies of today that they have actually implemented. Because I have noticed that a lot of these departments, they've got sort of like, not a lot of them, I don't know how many of them, but they've got some 2-3 deputies, and we'll talk about that also. Let's go on.
Thank
Very
you.
educated, Tedford. I apologize.
Yes, educated.
Deputy Minister, so on the issue of working together, and I want to come to this thing that all of you are just fluffing about, you have no coordination, no vision. Am I correct that you have the National Development Plan, you have the medium-term framework, you have the strategic plan of the department, and you also have the strategy that you raised here of the integrated violence? Now, are you not all working together in fulfillment of that vision in a coordinated manner, DM?
Yes, I just want to be specific also to show you in what I said about it. We work as a team, like you're saying. I said, it's here. That SAPS consists of SAPS, DPCI, which is the Hawks, and the 3 entities. And as a result, sometimes I will deal with the Civilian Secretariat or CIRA or IPIT. The minister deal with the SAPS, and then DM Matali will deal with DCIP and what. So that is why I even said when we go to portfolios or anywhere, we together with the National Commissioner and his team would come together and prepare together on that one. And then what we present to the committees, the standing committee, is a joint effort of all of us and the same understanding. So this issue that because we have this particular problem that we're dealing with, we're not working together and people are not working, the minister was what, and then we might not be articulate like all of us, and that's what we supplement each other in terms of the leadership. I might be able to articulate, dear Matali might not be able to articulate, but it doesn't mean he's just a ghost and not doing anything. I don't think it's really, really fair. Thank you very much, Honorable Ma'am.
Thanks, Honorable. I want to come to this issue of ghosts. Ne? So there's an impression that's created here that you sit in meetings all the time, and that means that you are not working. You heard that, right? Okay.
Yes, I
so
heard
do
it.
you think that it is correct, for example, to say Honorable Shongwe, who's sitting in meetings in the morning until late in this ad hoc committee for 3 months, is it fair to say that Honorable Shongwe is not working?
That's what the Honorable Member wanted to say.
Do you see that? She mentions another member in the committee, and you will see some emotions. I told you guys that this thing of being in these committees, people, they just come into committees because they want to discredit each other and whatever. Now, the ANC MP, I don't know whether she's doing this intentionally. This is the second time I think she's doing it. She also mentioned Mr. Skosana to say, what if I say to Mr. Skosana 1, 2, 3? And then the MK Party jumped up and then they were complaining, yeah, you can't mention the name of Skosana. Yeah, what. She's doing it again. And guess what? People, they will get triggered. Unfortunately, guys, whether you like it or you don't like it, the ANC, they've got ministers in these departments. And I can promise you right now, they will protect them. And if whether you like it or you don't like it, they will protect them. Just like these opposition parties, they protect their own when they are mentioned in there, in that parliament. Oh, it's not about the, what? It's not about Honorable Skosana. It's not about, hey, Baba, it's parliament. You can make an example of anyone in the house. Just to, you know, me, the ANC MP, she's very funny because she does this. I think she's doing it intentionally, just to make a point to say, you want to make this person look bad, you want to make these deputies look bad. Let's just turn this thing and turn it around and make it about you, so that when you are in this situation, how are you going to react? How are you going to look at it? But anyway, that is just me and my opinion. Let's move on.
Because I was fair enough to say I serve in the JCPS cluster. I serve in the economic sector investment and employment and infrastructure development committee and all joints. I'm also the champion of the DDM in Kangala and all other things. And if you don't call this work, it's something else. But also, as part of this, we come to the portfolio committee. As I said, it's 5 divisions. So you present 5 annual reports, 5 strategic plans, 5 APPs, 5 quarterly reports, and all those kind of things. And you can just understand how many meetings we had. So our chairperson, fortunately, is in this committee. He'll be able to explain that there was never a time where we did not come and present, as requested by the Constitution, that we must be accountable to Parliament. So you can't say sitting in portfolio committees we are not working. We are ghost workers. That is why I wanted to clarify it, and I think it is unfair, and I thought the chair would have protected DM Matali on that one. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sangweni, just a second. Please replace Honorable Shongo with Honorable Lahanyan and say, the chair who sits here the whole day, is it fair to say he's not working? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'll actually replace Honorable Shongwe with members of Parliament. Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, Honorable DM, my last question on this matter, and you heard that you were told that you can choose to say that you won't respond, they must ask the relevant person. But I'm asking your opinion. Do you think, in your opinion, Honorable Deputy Minister, that when Mr. Zuma, who's the president of the MK, appoints deputy presidents in his party, do you think he consults his members and says, no, maybe take this one, leave this one?
On a point of order.
Well, no. There we go. I told you. She takes something and then she's like, boom, reactor, mama, boom, reactor, tsotsi. And guess what? They get triggered. Listen to Mr. Nomvalo. Very funny, eh? This lady, she's playing them like she's taking them on, and she's doing it slowly, bit by bit, triggering them there, making them angry there and there. You remember what Mr. Nomvalo said?
And two, we don't need to be educated by the ANC. They don't qualify to educate us.
Yeah, we can't be taught by you. We are the ones that need to be teaching you. And this member of Parliament, the ANC member, she's like, okay, let's talk about your president right now. Your MK. Let's use it. She's something else. What are you doing now? Oh, before you too.
Yes.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Chair, you have established a norm here through a point of order which has been raised by Honorable Sangweni. You sustained it. She said it's unfair to ask from witnesses questions to which they do not have answers, because such questions must be asked from the relevant people who made such decisions. And you correctly sustained the order by saying it was unfair for Honorable Shongwe to ask the witness the question he was asking. So the same member, Chair, who made that order, who raised that order, again is falling on the same trap. So we're just appealing for consistency, nothing else.
Thank you, Honorable Nomvalo. You heard me correctly. And I'm happy that you say the order was correctly sustained, and this order is equally correctly sustained.
Thank you. No, I thought you had a counter, so, but thank you. If it's sustained, Chair, I will withdraw the question about whether Mr. Zuma consults his party members when appointing deputy presidents. But then, so would you think that the question that was asked to you about...
I don't know about this lady, my guy. But this lady is so not tricky, but like, I don't know whether to say sneaky or anything. And then the chairperson says, no, the order is sustained, okay? And then she comes back and says, okay, Chair, I will withdraw where I am saying, repeating the same statement so that, even if you are listening, so that you don't forget what she actually said. I am withdrawing the statement which says Mr. Zuma blah 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 blah. She's so, I don't know whether to say smart, but she seems like she's sneaky, man. She's like putting the thing pa and then pa and then pa and then pa and then pa, and then when you are not waiting and pa. She's something else, bro.
Mr. Zuma consults his party members when appointing deputy presidents. But then, so would you think that the question that was asked to you about whether President Ramaphosa should have asked you that no, take from one of us, was that a fair question?
It was unfair because in terms of the constitution, which I think all of us should be our Bible as lawmakers, is that it gives the president the power to appoint cabinet members and deputy ministers among the members in the National Assembly, but also goes further to say he can appoint 2 ministers, not more than 2 ministers, and not more than 2 deputy ministers from outside the National Assembly. I thought we are lawmakers, they are obvious to do. So they give him that power. So that's why I said, I can go and say, why do you not appoint me on this one? And also the other thing I want to clarify, members or deputy ministers, in terms of the constitution that I'm talking about, deputy ministers can't act as ministers. Only a cabinet minister can act as ministers. That's in the constitution. So if we want to make deputy ministers to act as ministers, you are lawmakers, you can change the constitution. But in terms of the constitution, deputy ministers can act as ministers. That is why they have to bring another minister who's Minister Mantashe to assist in this regard.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no further questions. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member.
All right. I guess the lady was trying to put together, meaning she was trying to, making this perception that says deputy ministers are useless, deputy ministers must be removed, deputy ministers this and that and that and that and that. Let me say my piece on this topic because I've heard people talk about it, okay? And then from a distance, I was listening to people and hearing people talking about deputy ministers, okay? According to where I am sitting, ladies and gentlemen, especially if I speak about parliamentarians, okay? Especially those that are in the ANC and those that are in the DA, okay? Because they are in the GNU, and I can even say the others that are in the GNU, if they are going to question this thing of deputy presidents, I'm asking myself, on which basis are you actually criticizing it? Are you questioning it? Because I can promise you right now, if the ANC, they can decide and say, listen, we've seen a potential in Mr. Ngola. We want Mr. Ngola to be a deputy president somewhere. Not a deputy president, or maybe one day, a deputy minister or a deputy what. Do you think Mr. Ngola is going to say, nah, I don't want to be a deputy minister? Why? Because I don't know when you wake up, what do you do?
You wake up in the morning, go to the office and do what?
I don't like the thing that when you wake up, I don't know, what do you do? So I don't think he will decline. He will take the position, okay? Because I believe, guys, that as a deputy minister, what is happening is you get there because obviously you don't want to put somebody new, as in like new. He doesn't know the environment, he doesn't know politics, he comes from your party, yes, but in terms of the government structures, government environment, the person doesn't know. But if you start them as deputy ministers, okay, and then they get in there, then they do those small jobs, and it's not going to be a job that will be seen by people, obviously. He or she is not a minister, and then she can do that and that, so that she grows in the ministry, they get better and everything like that. So that when they take over, at least they take over because obviously now we know how things are working. If you are a deputy minister, sometimes it does happen that you end up being a minister, after some time, unless maybe other presidents, they've got their own favorite people in there, and then they put them, they jump you, just like that guy. The Department of Higher Education, Mr. Mandamela, he's been waiting for his life. My God, he's been deputy minister for a longest time in the higher education. And when the opportunity came, now At least he knows what is going on there, even though there are other questionable things that he did. But the fact is, guys, whether you like it or not, you don't want people that has not yet had some environmental, experience or environmental feeling of what the government is about. Now, a lot of people, they are speaking about deputy ministers to say they are useless because of taxpayers' money, they are being paid for nothing and stuff like that and everything like that. But guys, when you are sitting alone in your own room, in your own space, do you think when you are thinking about deputy ministers, you think they are useless? You think they are not doing anything? According to you, when you are sitting alone? No, I don't think so. That's why companies, they've got deputies. They've got deputies because they can do these other small things that they can do. It cannot be that you are a jack of all trades, when you can hold everything at once. You will grow old very quickly, Baba. Okay? This is my problem when it comes to the deputy ministers of today, or let me just say, of the GNU. Right? This is the problem. My problem is the deputy ministers that are in some of the departments are too many. Okay? They are too many. Just like the department of, I think it's police. Too many deputy ministers. Alright? But I can tell you why they did that. And I think that Mr. Ramaphosa, I don't think he had a choice. Because remember, when the election ended, they had to form that GNU thing. And when the DA came in, when the other parties came in, they had to consolidate, Baba. They had to see who do they patch and make sure that at least everyone is happy. That's why you end up having some 3 deputy ministers there. Why? Because they were trying to make people happy, unfortunately. All right? Otherwise, they were not going to be able to formulate a government, because if they don't, I believe that they were like, okay, we cannot have 3 deputy ministers, guys. No, it cannot be. No, we want a position. We want our people, a person there. We want our person there to look after you there, so that you don't loot, you don't do all these things, okay? Then when they put them, and then they agreed, obviously. And then they ended up having 3 deputy ministers. That's my only problem with this thing. This thing of having 3 deputy ministers. 1 deputy minister for me, it's enough. That's okay. It doesn't matter how the work is, in terms of how huge the work is. I believe 1 deputy minister, it's enough, guys, okay? It is very enough. I believe so. Because if you can't handle the job, it means you are not ready, Baba. If you can't run the job, handle the job as a 1 deputy minister and a deputy minister, you can't handle the job, it means you are not ready. It means you are not ready. Get out of the kitchen. Move away so that people who are capable, they will be able to hold this thing. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Because the thing is, if you've got 3 deputy ministers, it's a problem for me, because you end up giving the other one nothing. Because the work, sometimes it gets so small that you are like, you can sit at home, bruh, you can just relax. Yeah, and then that's why you end up seeing this deputy minister. Sometimes you find them in cups. You find some videos, some of them, they dancing, because sometimes they don't have nothing to do. Especially if there are 3 deputy ministers. Why? But anyway, that's what I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen. I like this one because she was challenging this perception of saying deputy ministers are bad. No, not a bad. Deputy ministers are useless. They are not doing nothing. They are not doing anything. How are you going to get ministers? Unless you want the NC to take people just in the NC, just take them and just put them there. First time ever a person becomes a minister. He has never been in a government environment in any way, and then you expect them that they will perform. They will never. You need to give people a feeling of how it feels like to be in the government, so that at least when they become ministers, if it happens that they become ministers, which sometimes it's not always the case that you end up becoming a minister, okay, so that you at least have that feeling of what it's like to be in government. Listen, guys, there are some topics, I know some of you've got your own issues with it, and I know some of the parliamentarians or politicians, they come from a position of saying, we are trying to protect the money of the taxpayers. Trust me, if those people, they can take a majority and become the government of the... I'm telling you, they will be the first people to put deputy presidents. Deputy president, deputy ministers. They will be the first people to do that. I can promise you now. They can challenge it, they can do whatever, but I can promise you right now, they will be the first people to do it. With the first people not to remove the deputy presidents. They were complaining about deputies. But when they got there, they've got 3 there. They've got 3. And their deputies are there also. Okay? Let's not look at topics because you are angry, emotion high, these deputies. But when you get power, the next thing you do, you keep those the deputies there. You don't do nothing about it. Because that's what politics is. People, they pick and talk and talk and talk. When they get the power, already they've forgotten about what they've said. And then they keep the same things, they do the same things. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, I'm repeating and repeating now. Okay? But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. You have a fantastic day. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Guys, can you like the videos? Please, man. Can you like the videos? We are trying, shouting here, making noise. You are not liking. Like the video. I'm forcing you now. Like the video. Thank you. Have a fantastic day. We're done.